Hi guys, so what we intend to install today is Vcenter, and it's going to be have V on our machines, a machine that is Windows 2016. So what we need to do, we need to just understand what is Vcenter, and all the advanced features really revolve around that Vcenter. So first thing what we need to do right now is we don't need to install. So we will install or attempt to install Vcenter, which is a enterprise grade application that centrally controls the whole virtual and cloud environment, right? Virtual and cloud. Well, mainly it's virtual, but now they've added cloud portion of that too. So controls the whole virtual environment. So when we say virtual environment, which includes all hypervisors, all virtual machines, storage, networking, and introduces advanced features like fault tolerance, vMotion, HA, which is high availability, vSAN for companies that cannot afford the expensive SAN, and etc. So what we need to do for the lab. So lab steps, first of all, make sure that you did not start, so do not start your first name ESXi01 and your first name ESXi02. Will keep the memory available for the enterprise grade application of Vcenter. So only start your first name Win01. So and how much memory have we given to it? So I think it is current memory is well,
I gave it 4, but I think you gave it 8.
I gave 8.
I think I've done like 12 or something.
Oh yeah, yours having 32, right, total? The laptop?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. 4. Okay, so those who do not have enough memory, it will be really difficult for them. So what we need to, the current memory is 4 or 8 GB, and we need to, so we need to increase the memory, right? So if it is started, I did say start, so if it started, we need to change the memory to at least 10 GB, right? Out of 16, right? 10 GB. Did you upgrade? Okay. So those who can, who still have 8 GB now, not sure what to do. Management said, go ahead with your course outline, and I'm not sure what to do with the marks as well. So I can also understand why then students are not there, because I was saying, hey, the next lab would require a lot of memory. So still, you might want to push it. So so maybe those who have 8 GB, you can give 7 GB, right? But 1 GB for just the breathing of the operating system may not be enough, but try. Or 6 GB, try with that, right? So guys, we need to change the memory to 10 GB for your first name Win01, right? So we need to change the memory to 10 GB, your first name Win01. So and only start ESX, start the well, now we need to change the memory. So what we will do, the first step would be change the memory of your first name Win01. Yes, it does change it while it is powered on. We can change it while it's powered on, but we do have to restart after that, even because the operating system does not detect a memory change that is done while it is powered on. So I only have well, your first name Vn01 for now. We'll attempt that vCenter deployment. And it might take a little more time than expected, which could be a few hours. I didn't say that.
I upgraded to an SSD for you.
2 thumbs up.
Literally just for you.
All right. And the memory is 16 GB minimum. Way to go.
Yeah, that was for
Cool. So, okay, guys, I've started that your first name Win01 Windows machine, and the central application called vCenter needs to be deployed here. And it is it does not have Active Directory, which is good because Active Directory installs or applies some more security features here that the vCenter might not like. So I'm just going to right click on top of that your first name Win01 and go for settings here and try to check the memory of this operating system, your first name Win01. So right click on top of that, go to properties. So I see here 8 GB. And well, I could just go up to 10812, or you could just type it there directly, 10812. So I'm just giving it 10 GB. Even if we expand it to 12 GB because we have 16 GB RAM, so that would be still good. The more memory this application gets, the better. In fact, sorry, let's just go for 12. I kept on saying 10, but if you can go up to 12 because there is nothing else started, right? So there's just your first name Win01 started. Those who have 8 GB, you can go for 7, but well, I never attempted this stunt. So it's 12416 because we have 16 GB and because we don't have the other two ESXi started. We don't have those ESXi started, so we can safely at least go to 12 GB. So the more RAM we give, the better, right? In other colleges where they have desktops already loaded, fully loaded, we give here 16 GB RAM, but depends on your RAM, right? So if you have given 12416, that's the first screenshot here. So your first name Win01 memory is 12416, right? Take a screenshot like upgraded memory to 12. You can just name it that. Upgraded, yes sir. Sorry? Okay, so 12417 would be, I have to think about it, how to mark that. So, okay, so, yeah.
Stop being a shade.
Yep. Okay, catch up is a good thing. Okay, so 12416 or 417, both are allowed. So it's upgraded to 12 GB or upgraded to whichever you put there, upgraded to that GB, right? Upgraded to 12 GB because I upgraded to 12. So take a first screenshot here and screenshots. One upgraded to 12 GB. Okay, so that's the first thing, and so just go ahead and press OK and confirm if the operating system got 12 GB. I don't think it's gonna get that unless you restart, but if it does detect, the operating system does detect the 12 GB as well, that would be good. So if I go to search and yeah. So how much is the total memory you have in laptop? Okay. Huh? 8? Ouch. So don't give 12 then. Then give 7.
Download more RAM.
Okay. What am I doing? System information. So, well, if it detects that, so I'm just going to go to the yellow folder here and right click this PC and go to properties. And, oh, it does detect 12. Okay, so we don't have to restart if it does detect 12, but if it doesn't, then you have to restart. So just go to your File Explorer here, right-click this PC and Properties, right-click this PC and Properties, and you should see that it is giving 12. So if you've changed it and it detected it, that's good. If it did not detect it after changing, restart.
Hey, it is. Look at that. Did you drag it down?
I'm putting it in 12. This poor thing will
Like to blow up?
just put a fresh battery in. It's just going.
That's funny.
Who's actually using it?
Been there, done that. Still,
Like this is my laptop. I'm up to 6. Actually,
Six?
Yeah, my current memory set is just about 10.
it's like it's probably
Well,
a lot
it's
like the
because
hard
this
drive.
isn't using the full amount. Right?
Yeah, it's like the hard
It's-
drive
it's
where it's
just-
dynamically located.
Yeah. It's static.
We literally updated it. Okay. You think that anything this is like still
Huge part. Like maybe the biggest part.
I don't understand how they don't understand.
It's not like
For
the
the
last
last 6 weeks, he's been telling me you have to do this. It's like they leave the classroom and then it's just like, now I think about his hair.
It's a little far. But
Extremely. It's racist but truthful. I'm pretty sure that's the slogan of the Cowboys. This is all being recorded, by the way.
oh no. No, it's not, is it? Did you even turn it off?
Come on, Tim. Parker. Don't be so racist.
Wait, it's not actually?
Yeah.
Oh.
Vmware crash?
Oh, what's that?
Oh.
Nice.
I got a blue screen, the white screen.
Fix it?
No, it's just
I
I really hope someone can. I go to 10 to 12 GB from 8 to 12.
like, oh. She's taking a vacation. She's taking a vacation.
Calm down.
Chill out, E-Man.
No, it's come on.
I don't know why I said it like that. No. Chill out. Chill out.
Oh, I thought
No other process. Literally. I guess he hasn't heard of Skype.
Skype is a background too. Like that's the annoying part is you can't turn that off.
Or Chrome.
I mean, turn it off.
You can, but like it's not.
Chrome
You
is-
don't, then it's just sitting there.
I mean, we love top 12. So,
Well, I have a 32.
oh well, I don't. Yeah, it's fine.
In fact, this chart of
special.
12, which is that,
Keep asking.
and now the new
Yeah, I spent an hour taking the things like
laptop.
base out and adding frames to it.
No, it's not easy.
No, this one sucked.
It doesn't have a hatch or anything.
No, hold on, I'll show you what I was doing.
Yeah, I got it.
Find my.
I guess like you do that with
This is what it looks like when you open it. Where's the RAM?
It's one of the worst jokes I've ever heard.
No.
Is it possible to see it?
No.
There was one I saw.
That's what I'm
One
saying.
joke I saw that was stupid
Is
as
it
fuck.
underneath pattern?
No.
Weird place.
Yeah.
There's one. You remember that one?
Yes. That's where it was.
Hey guys, so let's get going.
There was one that was
So if it's 12 GB here, so we need to go ahead and yeah, the recording was still on all this time. So please do remind me to pause the video when I go away, because sometimes I then come back and forget to resume as well, right? Right here, so I forget, right? So the thing is that otherwise it's just running. Okay, so and I'll be sharing this with you. I have to with the management, so I hope they will be enjoying the jokes as well, which is okay.
They were 100% clean.
Okay.
They were.
They were.
Really?
He looked at you.
No, for wherever the jokes are coming from, it's from here. But the thing is that I hope it's Okay, guys. So let's go ahead. And so what we need to do is, if RAM is whatever your physical RAM is, and you can afford to put. So let's just close that. And second thing is the firewall. We can just, if it is showing on here, or even if it is showing off, then just click on top of this. In my case, the firewall is on. So ultimately, we need to communicate with the vCenter, with the ESXi hypervisor. So we're just gonna make sure it's turned off right now, and press OK.
Wait, where did you go?
So see this local server on the server manager on Win01, and then there's this.
On the dashboard.
Oh.
Please do ask me. I will repeat every step you're asking. Please do let me know.
Turn it off for both of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, done speaking.
So turn off the firewall for both. Oh yeah, sure. So are you on the Windows machine? Are you on the server manager? And local server? And firewall? Go ahead and click that. So if you see that, so just check on the left side, turn Windows firewall on or off, right? And once you click that, so there is turn off here and there's a turn off here. Okay, let's get going with that application deployment. So let's press OK and make sure it's both profiles are red, and close it and refresh. So vCenter requires some minimum memory, minimum hard disk space, and minimum processors. So what are those minimum requirements? Without that, it's not gonna actually install. So vCenter requires minimum 120 GB disk space. It should be available, right? So 120 GB disk space, and then vCenter also requires. Well, we're gonna see that now, but it requires 8 GB minimum RAM. But if it does not give you errors for those who went for 7 GB, then go ahead. And then every center requires 2 processors. So if those of we're gonna just double check these requirements here. First of all, 120 is the size of the disk. If you have given already that size, you're good. We gave 200 GB, right, for each machine. So let's double check each setting here. I'm just gonna go to the virtual machine here, and if I right click here and go to settings, so what is our RAM? It is 12 GB, we already know that. What is our hard disk space? So if you go to the settings, I see 200 here. So if it's more than 120 GB, you're good. And then the processor, I see 2. I think everyone seeing 2 processors here. If not, then just increase, right? So if that's good, let's go ahead. So brace for that application is very moody application. So let's just go ahead and right click on that machine and go to okay, why did I even go out of the settings? We need to go to the DVD and attach that file. Which file? The two files that I asked you to download way many weeks ago. So if we are there in settings, we go to CD DVD here, and I'm going to show you the name of the files there. The file name, that is Vim setup. So I'm just going to click browse here and go to that well, in the folder structure, wherever you put those files. But what is the name of the file? I'll just quickly show you now. So guys, if you see this file, Vim setup, right? So that's the Windows based vCenter deployment. The VCSA is Linux based vCenter deployment. Yes, ma'am.
These two, right?
That's awesome.
It's what? 60? Ouch. We all changed it to 200.
It's like, what is this?
Oh yeah, I think you had to reinstall that, so I guess, I don't know. So keep going now, but show me the error where, show me the screen where it shows that, hey, you don't have enough on this. But by this time you could install another one with 200 GB. Because it's just dynamically expanding, you can give 1 terabyte here, it's not going to take any space. Okay guys, so double click that Vim setup. I hope everyone was able to access that or see that. So go ahead and double click that, right? Vim setup. Once you double click that, so there's the this checkbox. Make sure that this checkbox, both of these checkboxes are checked. So if they're both checked, you're good, and the correct file is there, hopefully. So let's just press OK and start the deployment, right? So connected and connected, power on. And you have 32 GB. Wow.
I know, it's still gonna do it.
Others should worry, but not you.
Brand new laptop.
That too.
Right.
Brand new hardly processing laptop.
Okay, guys. So, wow. So let's go for this, File Explorer or the yellow folder within your virtual machine and go to the DVD. So this PC, and there's that green and yellow logo for the VMware, and let's double click that. So, and then press yes. So this screen should open, and it takes some time to open. So it's open for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
Just this, when I downloaded it, it showed up on my desktop.
So it says vCenter for Windows, and it also says vSphere client. Now this is the software-based client. We're going to be trying to connect with the browser-based client as well. So that client is called web client, and this client is called vSphere client, which is just software that you install. And if that software is not on your laptop, obviously you cannot connect. So that's why web client is there. Any machine, you can just go to browser and just put the right URL and you can connect. So later we'll try to install vSphere client as well. And there's vSphere update manager. Obviously, just like Windows have update, and that is called WSUS, Windows Server Update Services. So it also has an update manager, VMware, and that is just vSphere Update Manager, or VUM. So we're just going to stick to vCenter Server for Windows here. It says there are no prereqs there, which is good. Is it showing anyone any prerequisites? So definitely it should not be showing anyone any prerequisites there. So let's click install. So once we click install here, oops, it's too big. Okay, so it should say welcome to the VMware vCenter 6.0 installer. If you reach that screen, let's click next.
Oh. I had to scroll down.
Oh, okay. So let's click next, and I accept the terms of the license agreement, and further click next.
Hold on, I gotta read this.
Oops.
Right. My
Right.
first child here.
Okay. Let's click next, and that's where hopefully we are all on this page. So okay, so far so good, right? It's the final finish. So guys, at the final screen where the summary will be showing, that screenshot we definitely need to take. So do not click finish for the installation to begin. So first of all, what is this? What are we talking about here? embedded deployment and external deployment. So what is embedded deployment? It is just vCenter is divided into two major sections, and this definitely will be in your mega exam. What are those two sections? What is platform services controller? What is vCenter server? I'm going to be uploading some more detailed documents there as well. But to understand here for the lab, what is platform services controller? It just contains shared services. So one is single sign-on, second is licensing, third is certificate management. So platform services controller is the part which handles all the management of whatever services are going to be centrally offered to multiple vCenters and thousands of machines. So anyone knows what's a single sign-on? Any example of that? Okay. Okay. So mega exam is a grand, big, mega, huge exam. So it's just at the end of final exam. So it's just it has a lot of marks, and I'm gonna make it very tricky. So yes, good luck. Cool. So this midterm was easy peasy, right? Everyone got very good marks. Don't count on the final to be the same. Final would be where it's gonna count what we understand, right? So okay guys, here single sign-on, anyone example would be single sign-on?
But like a Microsoft account.
Or yeah,
That's across, yeah.
many services are offered within one credentials.
Yeah.
Google account, many services are offered. You just need to log in once and you can have multiple services used there. Licensing, and you need licensing for hypervisors, you need licensing for virtual machines, you need licensing for advanced applications like vMotion and fault tolerance, vSAN. Those are advanced features. So platform service controller really handles that too. And then certificate management. So you have to buy a certificate from any certificate authority, which is like GoDaddy.com or VeriSign.com or DigiCert.com. And the certificate could be the name of any one server. And if you have 200 servers, you have to purchase 200 certificates per certificate, which is a very small file, 67 KB or 80 KB file. And that certificate would be costing a company from $200 up to $2,000. Depends on how deep the encryption is, how good the authentication is being provided by the certificate. So this is all handled by security, licensing, and multiple service access, which is single sign-on, can be offered by platform services controller. And the second is vCenter Server. So everything else is done by vCenter Server, which is creating virtual machines, editing virtual machines, installing all the advanced features, connecting to storage, connecting to network. That is all done by vCenter Server. So when we go down to this external deployment, this is platform service controller can be deployed separately. Suppose you have 50,000 users or 100,000 users, or it's a big company, right? So it's you can deploy the platform service controller as a separate virtual machine or physical machine, while vCenters on still separate virtual or physical machines. So one vCenter can handle actually 10,000 machines, but if you have two vCenters, your company must be really big. So it would be one branch, maybe Toronto, you put one vCenter, and New York, other vCenter. So that would be huge deployment. In our case, obviously, we're going to go for embedded, excuse me, embedded deployment, and click. Oh well, guys, that's your screenshot number 2. Selecting embedded deployment. Screenshot number 2 is selecting embedded deployment. Screenshot 2, selecting embedded deployment. I think we should click that finish button as soon as possible. It might take a lot of time. So selecting embedded deployment. Okay, so let's go ahead selecting embedded deployment if you have put that option, if you have put in that option. So let's click next. So let's, yes ma'am. Oh, so I deployed the server core version of Windows. and the desktop version is different. Take a screenshot of that too. I understand then. Right. So, but you know how. So the other one is desktop experience, right? You may select that. Okay, guys. So click next. And oh, it did not take the system name. Okay,
Yeah.
it's empty, right? Okay.
Yeah, I clicked the data center, not the desktop version.
Oh, okay. So you know all the workaround for that too. Cool. Let me know. Yes, sir. It needs what? Minimum it needs 8 GB. Error is coming now. Take a screenshot of that, please. Take a screenshot of minimum it needs, and then please try to understand what's going on. Okay, guys. So system name. It is the name of your operating system right now. That it's just asking, hey, where on which operating system are you installing your your vCenter? So I'm gonna go back to Server Manager, and my OS name is your first name Vin01, right? So we can just put that name, but it specifically is asking. So I'm just gonna put here your first name VM01, your first name. Oh, sorry, Vin01, right? But it says here, enter the system name to use for managing the local system. The system name will be encoded in SSL certificate of the secure socket layer certificate of the system, so that the components can communicate with each other by using this name. Enter the system name as a FQDN, fully qualified domain name, which means your computer name plus the domain name, right? But we don't have that domain name, right? So if DNS is not available, you can provide a static IPv4 address, IPv6 supported. Okay, let's stick to this one first, because it is saying that we can provide IPv4 as well for the hypervisor to communicate with it. Okay, so normally when I do this lab in other colleges or just one other college that have 32 GB desktops provided, we put a dedicated separate Windows machine just for vCenter and one machine just for Active Directory. So if we do that here, so it's going to be messy. Okay, so let's click next here if we have put that name here, and let's see the error. Okay, so it says the specified name could not be found in DNS or does not appear to be fully qualified for IPv4. The use of FQDN is recommended. Yes, I understand. Guys, let's open our DNS and check if we have created any zone till now. And how come this name is not in DNS? Yes, sir. You didn't get that?
No, I did, but if you hit OK twice, then it shoots you into this other menu. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, genius. Okay, but that's good.
No,
That was a compliment.
more like idiotic mistake. That means the right thing.
No, that was a compliment. That's why I did that. Yeah, that was actually a compliment.
So is this what we're doing?
No. So
I'm still tapped on this screen.
yeah. So guys, we may be on this screen, but oh, you're still on that OK screen, right? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Click when you click.
Yeah. So guys, stay on this screen, right? Stay on this screen, and I'm gonna go to Tools here, and then go to the DNS that we don't have, right?
We do.
Spencer and I have it for some reason.
Our ISO has it.
Yeah, I do not have it.
What do you mean? ISO installs DNS automatically with it?
Ours did. Ours installed DHCP and DNS automatically.
I don't know why.
I have no idea why, but it's
First time in my life I'm hearing that, and I've installed a lot.
I didn't install.
Okay, that's good. I mean, if you have that. So guys, majority of us don't have DNS, right? Because we never installed it together, right? We don't, right? Okay, DNS is not there. So let's quickly install that. That's going to be not a big deal. It's better to fulfill their requirement instead of just let's see what happens. And so I'm just going to go quickly. Let's go quickly to dashboard and go to add roles and features. We're just going to properly configure our DNS so it would detect our configuration. So add roles and features. Oh yeah, now I remember so it took forever to install the operating system that we could not go for this.
Should we remove it and then?
Yeah, so dashboard, if you have installed it, because I guess it's not configured, so we're going to configure it properly together. So keep it installed and wait for us. So guys, let's click next here, and role-based, feature-based installation, next. And it's your first name showing here and the IP. So we're just going to select DNS here. So let's click DNS, that's it. Add features, because we can easily provide a FQDN after that. So once we click DNS, let's just click next, and that's it. So next, finish, right? So next, and install. So select DNS, next, install, right? Okay. And then we have to create one zone. We can come up with some domain name here, which will be acceptable by VMware as well. It just needs FQDN, some domain name or a zone created, and a PC or computer name attached to it, or an A record of this name created there. Okay, well, it installed for me. No, it's done. Installation is done. So let's click close and open the DNS. And let's click tools and then click DNS. So hopefully everyone has opened the DNS console. We can just quickly create a forward lookup zone. So if you have opened a DNS console here, then expand the forward lookup zone. Obviously it's not configured, it should be empty, right? And then right click on the forward lookup zone, there's a new zone. Why are we creating that? We just need to have FQDN. We can come up with any domain name here, right? Fully qualified domain name, FQDN. So let's click new zone here. I hope everyone's there, and click next. So it's going to be primary zone, which means it's read write zone, secondary is read only. So we're going to stick to primary zone and click next. And we can come up, so it's your first name and VIRT, that's it, dot local. So it's your first name, VIRT, our course name. Right? So your first name, VIRT.local, and then click next. Hope everyone got it. Your first name, VIRT.local, and click next. Right? So then it's just creating a DNS file inside the Windows path in System32. So let's click next, nothing here. Once we give a name, now make sure that allow both non-secure, secure dynamic updates, although we're not going to have a second DNS server. So kind of doesn't matter for us. But still, select the second one or the above one, and next. And finito. Okay, so one zone got created, and that is, we came up with a zone name as well. And what we need to do is just give an A record for this machine. So VMware could say, oh yes, now I detect that A record and FQDN. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead with a configuration that is acceptable for VMware. So let's right click on this zone name here, and we're going to create a record, which is a requirement there. Although we could have gone for IPv4, but in production environments or companies, you should be doing this. Name-based access is always recommended. So new host A record, if everyone's here, let's click that. And our machine name is your first name, Win01, and it automatically then creates FQDN for that. And what was our IP? I think it was still 200. So I'm just going to quickly check that. Details, yeah, it's 200.1 as always. So 192.168.200.1, that's the IP that it should resolve to. So if you have created that A record, so it's 192.168.200.1. We haven't created a reverse lookup zone. We don't have to, or we can just create later as well in a purely Windows environment or Windows and VMware. You don't need a pointer record. So without that, it works recommendation is to do put it there for best practices. Okay, so let's click add host if exactly that's how your screen shows and it's added successfully, and click done. So this screen here, take a screenshot of that, a record for the machine created. Take a screenshot here where you can clearly show that this requirement was done successfully. The a record has been created. You can just say a record created for the machine. A record created for Windows machine or a record created for the machine. Both are okay. A record created for the machine. Well, I'll just add, if you didn't add Windows, it's okay. I'm just adding Windows machine. Okay, so later, if we need to access ESXi, we need to create A records for the ESXi as well. We may have configured that before. Hopefully, when this is installed and ESXis are started, hopefully we could move the mouse. So a record created for the Windows machine or machine here. Let's go back to whenever you make a change here. So let's go to the server name and just refresh it a few million times. Okay, refresh the server, and now it should just detect that. But if it doesn't, we can just go previous on that screen. So if the zone name is created, we can go down to this wizard here, and well, that's where we were. If you press OK, you will land here anyway. So I'm just gonna press back and then back and back. Well, I'll just go next. If it doesn't detect, we can just put it ourselves with the correct spellings, which we saw in the DNS as well. It just needs FQD and it needs to cross-check that DNS, right? So, oh yeah, we took a screenshot of this. No, we did not actually.
No, previous one.
Oh. Okay, guys, here your first name Vin01 dot, and that is again your first name Virt2200 dot local.
Not 22.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. Okay, so your first name Virt dot local. And hopefully that it doesn't give that error, it detects that, hopefully. Oh, cool. So if that has been put in, then click next. Okay, now we're good. Okay, we're good, right? There was a,
It says specify name /address.
you can just check the spellings. Whatever spellings are there in the A record, exactly those spellings need to be put here.
To go into that record.
Yeah, double click on top of that and just copy that FQDN.
Spencer Win 01.
For the record.
Go back to the installer.
We're good, right? That's good, that's good.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because we might not reach 8 GB.
So that should be right.
The genius.
Go back to the DNS.
So guys, we can overcommit as well for vCenter. Suppose you have 8 GB RAM, you can actually give 8 GB full here and hope that vCenter doesn't reach 8 GB, because this means you're allowing vCenter to actually reach that much. Whenever it reaches, laptop will choke, and that's where laptop will say, okay, I had enough, and it might freeze or shut down. But for now, you can go ahead. So guys, what you see here is that it's a single sign-on. It's asking for a domain name, and it says domain name. It's not Windows domain name. We may have talked about in the lecture class as well that the domain name concept with VMware and Microsoft is exactly the same. And VMware has to specifically say that do not confuse yourself with Microsoft domain name and VMware domain name. They are different. So, okay guys, we're gonna stick to vSphere.local. So we should know this is the domain name for VMware and has nothing to do with Microsoft domain, right? And you should remember that administrator is the top account in VMware, while administrator is the top account in Microsoft as well, right? So VMware has that similarity, domain name and the top account name. So let's go down to the password, and it will only accept complex passwords. it will not take any easy password. So I'm just gonna put that on OneNote, which I may have put before as well. You can use this password, small ABC capital ABC shift 123, and without shift 123. It will accept this password, right? Or any of this type of all small case, uppercase, and characters and numbers. If you can go for that, it will accept it. Otherwise, you want to come up with your own, then put that. So I'm just gonna put that password here, right? And let's give the site name. We can give any site name here. So Toronto site. Okay.
Mine's still not letting me.
For
The
it's not detecting that.
system name.
The DNS thing
Mm.
is not working.
And we triple checked it, and it should be right. That's my Spencer win.
Okay, double click that.
Then check. Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's in here. Okay. Did you copy that? Double click that. Yeah, right. And back, and then it's like going back and then running and jumping. Oh, every time you have to scroll.
Yeah, that's right.
Go full screen.
Just the resolution's bad.
I don't know how to fix it.
Oh,
So now it's still doing it.
And now you can't get the taskbar for the top bar.
name could not be found in DNS or result was suitable address either way. Oh, okay, so what's your right key here? Go to the IP address study IP. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, click on and the preferred DNS. Yeah, we all did not give that, right? Check. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you're good. Here you're good.
My preferred DNS is itself.
Okay. I think we did always give our DNS. Yeah, so put a preferred DNS.
127.
No, it's
192.
yeah.
No, oh,
No,
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same thing, but yeah, okay. Yeah, both will work. It will just point to itself.
Try that then.
second.
Back. Oh,
Yeah.
Yay.
Hey guys, so let's get going. And if it's a Toronto site here, so whatever site you want to give here, it's okay. And this is the domain name. Just remember that vsphere.local. So let's click next. Then it just says that if you are a big organization, go for the separate account here, and it will create its database on a separate machine. If you're a small organization, stick to this local account, and it will create a small database. Yes, sir. Yeah. Huh?
Password is not strong
So, did you create a DNS?
Last week.
Okay. So, what do you mean?
What is that?
Yeah.
DNS. Password is not recognized. Makes sense.
Okay, go to DNS. Good. And then put a password.
Pay by the course. It's not like the college.
Hey guys, we're gonna. So you know the password? Yes.
and then it's the same
Oh,
cost.
sure.
I make my own password.
University.
It might not accept that. So this. So I'm going to show you. I was showing her the screen. You good? Okay. Because I just put the password and Toronto site. If you put it, it's okay. If you didn't put it, it's. Okay, guys. This is the password. Is it the password? Yeah, just one. Shift 123. Right? Exclamation add and pound sign. Shift 123. Okay, we need to really launch now. Yeah. Okay, guys. So you got it right. Second time also you're looking at it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's click next here. And this is just saying that we're going to install a local database here. If you're a big organization, then go for the second account and it will connect to a remote database. So let's click next. We're just going for a local database. And also it's saying that if it was a remote database, then give us the credentials for that SQL server. But we're going to stick to use an embedded database or vPostgres, which is just an internal free database. And we keep it selected and click next. Then it just says that if you had firewalls on, then you have to add all these ports as the exception for all these VMware services that are going to communicate with other VMware components across the network. So let's click next. Nothing to change here. Let's click next. Nothing to change here, right? And then recommendation is not to install it in C drive. Recommendation is to install it in other than C drive, E drive, F drive with 1 terabyte SSD or 10 terabyte. So we're going to stick to C drive here and clicking next. You have the second drive here?
It's a C drive on the VM.
Oh.
On the VM. So we never created a second drive in the VM. So we're stuck. So the recommendation is always go for the second drive. So let's click next here. So join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program. So we do not want to improve the software. So uncheck that. Oh, we want to. No, that's not recorded. It was low sound. It didn't reach here. So.
What did he say, Jeremy? What did Owen Tan say?
Okay, guys. So click next. Okay, this we need a screenshot. I hope you did not click install here. Yes, sir.
I don't even know that.
So summary of install.
It's hidden.
So just name it summary of install. If you've taken a screenshot and named it summary of install, click install. Go ahead, click install now.
There's 3 o'clock on the install.
Installer.
Big mistake.
You're gonna run into a problem pretty soon. Hello? Hello? Like a dog. Dog barking here.
I hope that was recorded.
Yeah, it's nice. I thought you were doing this.
Why are you like this?
I'm like this because I'm tired.
You sure going on the gym's a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay. You took screenshots of everything.
Yeah.
I really need those screenshots.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Whoa, I need to start as well. Okay, so screenshot name. Let me just install first.
What did I miss? Jeremy being a bugger again?
Booger?
Bugger.
Yeah. You booger.
Apparently less people.
Make sure you link it to the router.
Check out the computer.
Okay. Oh.
We do install? Click it?
Oh,
He said to install it.
Yeah.
Okay.
so yeah, and yeah, one more thing, 45 minutes on a good configuration.
Holy hell. It is sluggish.
Is it web downloading?
That's why.
Is it web downloading or is it application?
No.
Okay.
It's purely local installation.
Pure
We're not
HTTP.
connected to internet.
Sick play.
So
That's why it was so important. We got it started. It's because it takes that long.
yeah, we should have even done that way before that. Did it start showing anything, guys?
Nope.
Anything?
No progress. It just mine just says Java memory diagnostic.
I mean,
Processing back.
It's going through the file.
Yeah, mine just went
Cool.
past common
Cool.
jars.
It's taking a while.
Yeah.
Cool.
VMware AFD servers.
Oh yeah, VMware JRE.
So guys, what we can do,
Proxy.
oh, did we configure that? No, we did not. Okay. What I was going to say is the software SAN. So, you know, we're exactly on the same stage in Humber College, the same VMware course. So I configured there this Monday. So I thought we did it here. So guys, software SAN, we need to configure that once the vCenter gets installed. The vCenter needs to connect the LUNs or the drives that are shared over the network to ESXi hypervisors. Now, there are a few smaller configurations that we can do in the background without disturbing this installation, hopefully. Without disturbing this installation, we can do a lot of smaller configurations here, which are very crucial for the vCenter to basically function properly. So the first configuration, so we went through the password. So installation of vCenter in progress. Okay, and while this is going on, we can go for let's set up the A records for our two ESXi hypervisors, and also let's set up our software SAN on the same machine, because yeah, that's the only machine we have, and we're using a Windows based SAN, software SAN. We could have used another software for SAN, and that is OpenFiler, FreeNAS. Maybe you've heard that before. FreeNAS or OpenFiler, those also offer software SAN. So let's set up our software SAN on, and that's not small SAN, SAN. So on your first name Vin01. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's try to add the 3 disks, or let's keep it 2 disks. So guys, so what we're going to do is that we're going to configure target, and we're going to configure initiators. So target, always remember that target offers disks over the network, while the initiators requests the disks over the network. Right? So we're going to be configuring a target now. So this is your first name Vin01, and we're going to add 2 disks. Let's add 2 disks, format them with NTFS, so they will be locally working disks. Then let's install a feature called iSCSI. The purpose of this feature is that's going to convert a local disk to be shareable over the network. iSCSI feature, either you can have fiber optic SAN or you can have iSCSI SAN. Fiber optic, you have to purchase all the expensive fiber optic equipment, the switches, and the network cards. But in iSCSI, on the Ethernet network, it works over the SAN. It's just slow. That's the only thing. But you can share a full disk from one machine to another machine in the network. So let's install iSCSI, and then let's convert each of our newly added disks, newly added disks, two disks that we're going to be adding to iSCSI disks, which means what? These two disks will be shareable over the network to any of the machines we have, and we have actually two machines waiting for it. The two machines really need these two disks. So these are obviously our your first name ESXi01 and your first name ESXi02. Okay, I'll put that bigger. Okay, so how it's gonna look like then? We will have two disks formatted NTFS, and then we're going to convert each of them as iSCSI disks. Once we convert them to iSCSI disks, we're going to be mapping those disks to both hypervisors. So both LUNs, logical unit numbers, or LUNs, which are the disks that are shared over the network, will be so each disk will be shared with each hypervisor. So this disk will be shared. One disk will be shared with hypervisor ESXi1 and 2. Oh, that's also one. Sorry. And then the other disk will be also shared with ESXi1 and 2. Right. So let's configure that while our vCenter installation crawls ahead, or thinks of going ahead. Is it still thinking? Oh, there's a progress. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys. The first thing is, let's add two disks, and obviously we can just put any space there. So we can add two other disks that is 300 GB each, just to make it different from the local disk that is 200 GB. So let's put 300 GB each disk, new disks there, and format them with NTFS, and then convert them to iSCSI disks. So when vCenter finally is installed, it will help us share those disks with hypervisors, the two hypervisors, right? Okay, so the two disks, let's go ahead and add them. So there will be E and F once we're done. So I'm just going back to that machine. I don't want to disturb this installation, but I don't think adding the two disks will disturb the installation, other than the format procedure. It takes a local processor of that virtual machine, which is also being shared by this installation. So let's whoa.
Mine did that too.
Oh, you are. So it's the web client component where it flickers. It had a hiccup and toothless. Oh, yep.
Good. Show me these. Oh, we have to get to T22. Okay, to go over here. And refresh. So now we have every time you heard a new teacher. Okay. But then next, and it's like jumping, right? Running and jumping.
Oh my god.
It'd be like the ending of Breaking Bad.
There you go.
They're just stealing stuff. I stole their lives.
Looks like more than 15 characters. Don't you have a smaller name installed that we're sure is
Different ones because they have different.
you created a zone already, because if it is more than 15 characters, it also gives errors.
Maybe that. There was a lot of on it.
Wait, so if you try and click out of it, then it'll stop you, or what?
You can, but they're not sending it this year, but I think last year they did. Tax one. I'm trying to remember if I did my own tax last year. I did my own tax last year. This year, I'm like,
You just wouldn't have done your interview last year because you didn't have untick few classes.
in 2017.
You can do that.
Smart man.
You
must be a time trial.
What's happening?
Not much was happening.
Review. 2018 something classes.
Yes, we didn't have classes in 2018 UOIT.
Oh.
We
I
Well,
had
actually,
no
maybe this is not winter season. That's the first step.
2017 last year.
Which is actually the junior app. So, it accepts that.
Well, I took 8 months from January to August.
nice.
And then I was back in school in September. But we didn't have UIT classes in
Normally
September.
happens if
We had them starting in January.
names to
I met all of you. And each one has their
Okay, you know the password and yes, sir.
And something.
Oh, you have to like that's what you do. Because it's it doesn't have a password, no.
whoever
Yes.
right? How long did it take you to do it?
2 hours.
Really? Why? I showed like 6 steps for each one, and with screenshots. How much writing did you actually do? One was like 12 pages. But most of it was pictures. Did you get feedback?
I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like, it doesn't say to prove that you got feedback or anything.
Hey guys, so good? You're kidding me. Guys on 8 GB. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm still
If
like
it is done,
quarter of the way.
everyone has to bring coffee for her. If it is done. She pulled a stunt on 8 GB. Oh, you don't drink? No, 12 GB, right? I know that. I know. You said 12 GB at the start. Whoever else is pulling it on 8 GB, that's 8 GB stunt. We can. 8 GB? Okay, coffee for both of you, right?
Are you like sick
Hey guys,
feeling?
8 GB.
I just,
My God, seriously? Okay.
I basically did the same thing.
Whoa, blown away. Okay, guys, so 322. Now, okay, we can do that. So I'm gonna right click on top of that and I'm gonna click settings. So you know what? First, let me do that. So I'll do the stunt, and then I also, if I'm good, you can go ahead. But no, my laptop is 32 GB RAM with SSD drive and i7 quad core, right? So it might be able to do everything I'm doing. So, but if you are clicking settings or adding the disk and it freezes, that risk we cannot take. So it's already frozen for you, the back screen, as you were telling me, right? Kinda. It's not letting you click anything back, right?
Yeah.
So
So I just took a screenshot of it, so.
cool. You know, all the advanced features are in Vcenter, and we really need that. Okay.
How long is this going to take?
Well, you
Time
can
for me to go get a coffee?
like you can actually get something else as well. With that.
Well, like in what you're
Enough
doing
time.
right now.
Like I would not go ahead with adding the disks.
Until it's complete.
Yeah, because when it actually adds, it takes resources of VMware, and those all resources are concentrated on this one right now. So yes, if you want a coffee,
You're not going to do any screenshots in the next 15 minutes?
as soon as you leave, I might. But for now, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. We're not taking any risk. This has to be installed. So yeah, if you're doing something else.
What did you do?
Let's set up our software SAN.
What am I? I thought it was
We need to
oh.
create a record. Let's format them one by NTFS.
Because I didn't.
She didn't do it.
It takes like 10 minutes.
It's due today.
So you do it.
I'll be lucky.
It's like,
Expect to see an email on Sunday.
Hello, yes, I did understand this.
Hi, Charlotte. Sorry to go to this. I was been under the influence of alcohol for the last 4 weeks. Some people say this.
does not care about like things. She cares about whether you learn something else or not. Not even like the content of it, but whether you.
I think that's what she was asking you because
Yeah, I don't.
you know you're.
Here's the thing. She stopped caring about teaching classes before when nobody cares.
Yes.
And now that she's asking us to like logically think, why? Like, I don't know. You shouldn't be asking like what the rubric is. Just logically. She told us exactly what she wants every time.
I just think she was like you. They were like, oh yeah, this is something this is what I want. To learn what we're doing for their careers.
I mean, that's not wrong. I mean, that's weird. People don't want to it, but they will be getting that job.
So resuming, Okay guys, so when it reaches the summary screen, then please do not click close or finish, and then go for take a screenshot of that and successfully finish. That's the first thing. Second thing is that there's another button on that screen, on the finished screen, and that is launch the vCenter in the web browser, or just launch the vCenter. You need to click that button. It will launch the vCenter within your IE browser, which is nasty. So we need the IE browser to cache the address of vCenter. We need the IE browser to just remember that address, right? So then when we install the Google Chrome, then we will just copy that address to Chrome, and then from there we can just manage it better. So installation. Okay. Okay. So if you reach this screen, when you reach this screen, so just take a screenshot of that and install. Oh, you did? Done. Okay. Done. Okay, 2 done. Cool.
Finished fashion. Let's get that.
Okay. So anyone else done?
Spencer might be checking right now. He doesn't lock his
Almost done.
computer,
Start
so-
all over. No, you're not playing.
Oh, locked. Okay. Sorry.
Start all over again.
Why?
Oh, I think when it went to sleep.
Okay.
This would be him.
I wish I could start all over.
8. So how are 8 GBs doing? Oh, good.
I'm kind of a one-shot one.
8 GB? Okay. Wow, this is amazing speed for 8 GB. You have SSD as well? SSD drive or HDD drive? SSD. Okay, that is making a difference. But and processor is i7 quad core or i5? i5 with 8 GB. Whoa,
What do you see?
I need that laptop. Okay guys, if you reach there, then take a screenshot of this screen, and the name of the screenshot would be successfully installed.
Oh, mine's good. Screenshot.
Wow, okay, done. 3 done. Successfully installed. So screenshot 5 successfully installed. And if you're on this page, or whoever reaches that page, and if it keeps on going after 3, it's better to complete it, guys. So we could carry on next week as well. So launch vSphere web client, whoever's, because I'm recording that as well, so those who will be finishing it. So let's click that launch vSphere web client. So once we click launch vSphere web client, it's asking me to use the default web browser, and seriously, okay, so wow, it's not going anywhere. Okay, do I have a web browser that works here? Okay, I'll open it and then tell it. Are you kidding me? Okay,
Just click use default browser. Never mind.
it doesn't reply. Okay, so in that case, I'll just put another way here, and that is the URL. The main thing is the URL. So if you're able to click that button once it is done, so I'm just gonna put that URL here, and we need to just remember that. So it's https:// your machine name, your first name, win01.virt/vsphere-client. That's what we need to remember. So it will be this https:// you don't have to really type that. If you click that button and it opens up in the browser, you're good enough. It's the same link that if you have your okay. So go ahead and click that button. Otherwise, you can just put that your machine FQDN of your machine /vsphere-client. FQDN of your machine /vsphere-client once the installation is over. So I'm just gonna press enter to that, and just to check, if it reaches that page of login for the vCenter. So if this pops up in the future, do not show this warning. I'm just going to press OK and select and OK. So after that, because we did not purchase any certificate, public certificate for that, so it's going to give you a certificate warning. We can just click that link or that line which says not recommended.
Yep,
So
just continue.
continue. Exactly.
You're about to view pages over secure connection.
Whoa, this page cannot be displayed.
Oh.
Being blocked
Okay.
by, turn off the IE.
Yeah, IE enhanced security. We need to turn it off. I think we did turn it off already. So I'm just gonna go down here and go to local server. Oh, it's not off actually. So guys, that's another good step here. Turn off the IE enhanced security, which is in server manager and then in local server. So I'm recording that so nobody will miss it. So in local server, I'm just going to this IE enhanced security configuration, and it is on right now. So it just does extra security checkup for local sites which are already secure. As you know, administrators know that it's being started locally. So I'm going to turn off the for administrators. If you turn it off, that's the main thing to get from here. But I'm just going to turn off everything, and then refresh. Okay, so then I'll just click this. Normally, if your installation is done, you click this button, and it's still, yeah, stuck with, okay, I cannot click any of those buttons. But anyway, I'm just going to go inside the browser. I'll just remove that guy here. And okay, continue to prompt. So I'll just uncheck that and close. Now, this link, we can actually add it to the save sites. Right, so what we can do here is in the browser we can go to this setting here and go to internet options. So if we go to this setting and internet options, then we can go to security. You want me to repeat that? I'll repeat that. So I'm going to go to security here and trusted sites, and I'm going to try to add this URL to this trusted site. It's already mentioned there, and it does take HTTPS. You can also try with HTTP, but I think it's gonna go to S after that. So I'm just gonna click add here. So trust this site, that's what I'm telling the browser, and click close and press OK. And then refresh, or just close the browser and refresh. So I'm just gonna close the browser and go down here. There's HTTPS / the FQDN of your machine / vSphere client. Oops, this page can't be displayed. So, well, I'll check one more thing here, and that's services, right? So we can further troubleshoot it. So I'm just gonna right click on the run. So I'm just gonna right click on the Windows icon on the left bottom, and I'm gonna go to run because I need to check if all the vCenter services have started, right? So I'm going to go to run and I'm going to type services. For anyone, were you able to see the login screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you were able to.
Yes.
Login screen.
Yes. I didn't have to add it to the trusted sites as soon as I took off IESEC.
Hey, you should stick to the teacher. I'm getting an error. You should get an.
He no click, you no click.
Yeah. If I get an error, you should get it. Oh no, it's good.
Yes. We can't learn it. You can't.
URL is wrong because wasn't it first name Birch for the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that should be +2 temperature. Oh, okay. So, sorry, it was your first name Win01.
Dot. I'm your Virt.
Yeah. Your first name.
Ah. Thank you, ma'am.
Mine's still loading.
Yay, login.
Ah. Serious.
Yeah. This.
Thank you for noticing that. Thank you. Okay, so the self-signed certificate will show here, and since we did not purchase a $200 or $2,000 certificate, so we're just gonna click continue to this website, and after that, this nasty, Adobe Flash Player message comes. But if we reach that page of login screen, so do you want to allow this website to open an app on your computer? Yes, allow. Okay guys, so if you see that, what does it let you put a credential?
Were we supposed to click allow?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I quickly clicked allow, but if it pops up that hey, you wanna, have that. Yeah. There's no other way. Definitely. Click allow if it asks you to hey, do you want to open this? So guys, the credentials are the top administrator. The top account of VMware also is administrator, and this is not Windows administrator because we're going to type the actual domain name administrator at vsphere.local. So that would be, this account is not there in Windows and it has nothing to do with Windows. So administrator vsphere.local is purely vcenter top account, and then the password that you gave. Obviously, get with shift 123 and symbol 123. Right. So it is, well, in my case, I'm giving this password. But there is that message. I understand. I know there is a message there, and we're going to get rid of that too. Well, the main thing is if you have, or we can get internet connection and upgrade that or install that flash player. Better go for Google Chrome, and from there we just need to check that does the credential work. Does it let us see the inside of the vCenter? And anyone logged in?
I'm at the same screen you're at.
Oh, it's trying to. Okay.
Mine is still loading.
Uh-huh. And that is the NASA machine, right? NASA machine.
Yes.
Oh, it's not.
She gone.
Got a new laptop.
Yeah.
It's not massive.
Newer. Okay.
Got an SSD now.
Yeah, I'm surprised why it's stuck up.
Well, I think it's running on my D drive.
So I just had to add this name to the save sites as well. Well, it might not show you because it needs a flash player. So I'm just putting allow again. And so guys, let's quickly just put that Google Chrome, and then just try to log in with this URL from that browser.
Wait, that's great. We're on our own.
So I think it's not gonna show you the actual screen here because of flash player is not there, right? So one thing is we can just add a second network card, connect to internet, and simply click that. This browser is on a setting where it might not even let you download, but since we remove the enhanced, IE security, so we may be able to do that. So first thing, let's just right click here, go to settings. Oh, it's 350. Seriously. And we can add a second network card and give it on NAT, put it on NAT, right? So it will give us internet connection. So I'm just adding the second network card now and selecting network adapter and clicking finish. It is on NAT and press OK. So we may have done that before as well. So I hope if you want me to repeat that, I'll repeat that. So network adapter and then NAT and press OK. Once internet is there, so we can try to download. So that's one thing we can. Oh,
When it finishes, don't click finish.
successfully installed is a screenshot number 5.
Yep, right here. Check it.
So, well, now I got internet connection. So I'll just check if I can see Trump.
It jumped like 2/3 of the way done now.
So that is one thing we're trying, but we need to handle vCenter with Chrome. So why don't we just get the Chrome also, because we have internet connection now, so we can just simply download Chrome. Oh, what happened?
Ontario
We should
COVID-19
use
patient,
public transit.
public transit.
Ouch, on that date. So, okay, before some other news comes, let's go to Chrome.
What?
Except the only concern
Not
is
yet.
Owen stuffing.
I just got back.
So Chrome and then download Chrome. So tomorrow or on Monday, TTC will be empty. Like nobody will come there.
That'll be really nice.
So download Google Chrome, and then I need to show you a workaround for some more add-ons there to get Vcenter to basically work. Okay, so download Google Chrome and then put that link URL there, right? So help me make Google Chrome better. I'm just unchecking that and accept and install. So we got the internet connection and we're installing Google Chrome as well, because that's gonna be, so I'm just gonna save it first and then just run it and install Chrome, right? And then put that URL there in Chrome.
Thank you for downloading Chrome.
Should be in the desktop if it is done. To run slowly if it runs, yeah. Okay, now it's downloaded and I'm gonna just run it. Oh, that was slow speed. Now I'm just installing Chrome. Next finish, right? I just need to see that Vcenter opening inside Chrome. That is
Your connection is not private.
oh.
And proceed.
Okay, Chrome seems to be done.
Do you want us to install the Adobe Flash Player? Or
Well, guys, you know what? It's gonna it's not gonna easily install. So let's try to consider on installing Chrome, and that's it. That's gonna work, because onwards we're only going to use Chrome. Even if IE was working fine, Chrome has very good working capabilities with Vcenter. Chrome and Firefox, those two are more popular with virtualization admins for VMware. Okay, so well, I just need to get that URL to Chrome now, and that URL is, oops,
it's still a white screen on Chrome.
okay,
Enable Flash on it.
yeah, we need to enable that Flash. So I put that link and the name is okay, yes, vSphere-client. Okay, so this screen is there. Your connection is not private. Okay, that's what we're saying. And then we go down to advanced here. We go down to advanced and proceed to your FQDN, which is unsafe, and click. It is safe actually. Now, since we have internet connection, so we can actually download that Adobe Flash Player. But guys, I'm just going to show you some T-shoot steps here, or some workaround steps here. There is that not secure written here. This not secure written here. So if we click that, then there are cookies and certificate, and there is that site settings here. Well, you know what? Once you go to site settings, so it has blocked a lot of things. So I'm going to repeat that in next class as well, but I'm just for the video, I'm just recording that. So microphone, we don't need it. So we need to enable some add-ons here, right? Flash is blocked. So I'm going to enable Flash or allow. If you want me to repeat that, how do I come here? I can repeat that. So Flash is allow. Pop-ups, guys, go for pop-ups, allow it. It's a local environment. Well, we're going to remove internet anyway. So, and then ads is blocked, background sync is allowed, sound is okay, automatic downloads, it's ask is okay, but I'm just gonna go for allow. So 4 things: Flash, pop-ups, background sync, automatic downloads. These 4 are allow, so we can actually just make the Vcenter work. So again, the Flash, pop-ups, background sync, and automatic downloads. Once that is done, there's no save button here, right? That's it. It just, yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go back here, and there's a reload button now coming once we made those changes, right? So let's click reload, and now that Flash player is downloaded in the background. And you know, we need to just once see how vCenter looks from inside. So let's put administrator again at vsphere.local, and then your first name, well, okay, the password, and please work, please work. It's a good time to panic.
It's getting there. It's almost there.
All right.
Here we go.
Ooh, there. So guys, this is your screenshot finale. Final screenshot. Screenshot 6. Logged into vCenter. But yeah, you have time, like you have your laptops, you can just follow the video and reach here before the next class. Yes, sir.
So we get exception since like most of us couldn't install in time, like within the class time.
Yeah, if it cannot install, I understand. Just take a screenshot of that and just do it at your own convenient time before the next class. Cool. So yeah, guys, this is the prize. Well, that's just a start, but for today, this is a prize, big prize. So if you reach here, that's the final screenshot. Logged into vCenter. Logged into vCenter. By the way, anyone attempting to go for Azure exam, Azure 103. So one student passed yesterday. So anyone needs material for that, let me know.
I'm going to take a screenshot showing my progress bar and highlighting the time.
Yes. So guys, whichever state you're in now, if it is still installing, take a screenshot of that and put it on the document as well. Let's upload, right? So, and then please do make sure that you reach this before the next class, before next Friday. Make sure that you reach here, right? And then we're going to set up the whole environment. Yes, we're going to start the both ESXi's 44GB.
What did you call this? 6?
Yeah, it's logged into vCenter. Guys, one more thing. Why the marks got delayed? I didn't know that the 07 is not gradable. So now I have put that link already in 05, which is gradable, right? So I had to come to support to actually move everything to 05 and then it graded. So upload links from now on will be on 05. So right now it is on 05, you can just upload there. While the slides will still be on 07, but it's 05 is that gradable section, so you can please upload now there in 05. So logged into vCenter.
And you guys got like the install on like on a USB.
I have it on my computer.
When you get there USB, very nice because I don't really want to see like trying to get internet.
Hey guys, so please do. Oh yeah, I'll put it here. Please upload your screenshot stock on 05 page
I just put it in my document
and not on 07 page, right?
and highlighted.
Yes, sir.
I tried to reinstall it, but it's saying
Oh,
that
yeah.
the ports are used now.
Following non-configurable ports are already in use because you installed it before here.
Yeah, but the installation stopped halfway.
Yeah,
right?
so it saved those settings here.
Discord just has
So
this
would I have to
thing.
uninstall everything and then reinstall it, or?
That would be now